Hello everyone and thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to look at the brand new Saints Row. This game is a reboot of its beloved predecessors that takes place in today's society. The game is available on PlayStation 4 and 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S for $60. I do want to mention that I played the game for about 3 hours on the Series X and there will not be any spoilers mentioned or shown in the video. With that out of the way, let's begin with the video. The rebooted Saints Row is the newest installment to the Saints Row series. In this game, you and your group of millennial friends are trying to rise to the top through unconventional means in the grand city of Santo Ileso, located in the American Southwest. On this new map, there are many attractions to see and to explore. The game offers a new storyline for new or old players to follow. You can play co-op with another player as well, and seek what Santo Ileso has to offer, such as activities, exploration, or pure chaos. After waiting almost a decade for the newest installment to the Saints Row series, Saints Row gives players a taste of their past. This game offers a few positive marks that cannot be ignored. For starters, the graphics in this game look pretty good. Graphics are not always important to a game, but it simply cannot be ignored here. The map of Santo Ileso is a breath of fresh air. I loved playing in Stillwater, Steelport, and the virtual city of Steelport in the previous Saints Row titles, but it's nice to finally go to a new location. The map itself is pretty big and has a lot of attractions that you are able to explore and interact with. Like the previous titles, Saints Row offers the extensive customization that the series is known for. The weapons, cars, clothing, and avatar can be customized to your liking. This interactivity has always been such a positive asset to the franchise. It's good to see that this feature is back. Before we move on to the negatives, the last positive that I want to talk about is that the game is simply fun. The game provides the arcade chaos and activities that we are all accustomed to in a Saints Row game. From striking a person with your wingsuit, to tossing a man with grenades strapped to his chest, to stealing an armored truck with a helicopter. This game is trying to recapture that arcade-esque atmosphere that Saints Row is known for. Though the game has some upside, there are a few issues that cannot be ignored. While some of the issues can be minute, there are some issues that are at the core of this game. Let's address the core issues first. A primary issue of mine is the new storyline and characters. So far in my playthrough, the storyline can simply be summed up as the millennials, or the new Saints, are trying to make ends meet. In order to do that, they commit crimes to pay rent and to go to karaoke afterwards. Or they go, whoops, let's commit genocide so I can buy that $300 waffle maker. Really? This is the type of quirky humor they have going for them. I know I should not compare this game to the previous titles, but this storyline is a joke. The previous Saints Row were able to mesh the chaos, the seriousness, and humor in a well-balanced manner without seeming forced or unwanted. It just worked. The characters in this game are just not likable. I feel that the developers are pushing hard for these characters to be likable by having quirky tendencies, being woke, and trying to relate to other millennials and Gen X players. Granted, I have bias since I love the original Saints Row games and characters, but I was open to the idea of having a new gang and seeing new characters. I do not care about political agendas in games generally, but I feel that the devs were trying to make the characters woke for an audience that does not even play the game. Another issue about the characters is that their jokes and humor always fall flat. Listen to this clip.
Fall in line. Balls. Goat balls. Cow balls. Goddamn cow balls and a pizzle stick between them. Horse balls. Big, giant, sweaty horse balls. Big, giant, sweaty, dangling horse testes just swinging in the goddamn breeze, knocking back and forth like a pair of motherfucking clappers in a giant horse flesh crotch bell. All in line. Nuts.
That is almost a minute of the boss talking about balls and trying to extend the joke for more laughs. This is just an awful attempt at making a joke. There are more moments like this in the game, but it does not seem to get better. I am just disappointed by the lack of character development and qualities by the developers. The last core issue is that this game feels like the developers are desperately trying to recapture the nostalgic features that made Saints Row into Saints Row. The ability to customize is a feature that is expected in Saints Row, yet they want us to be thankful for it. No, It's a staple. It should be expected nonetheless. Same goes for the arcade playstyle and the oddities that make Saints Row into what it is. With a series, it is expected that devs provide all the features that compose the game. On to the trivial issues with this game. The game of course is buggy. During my playthrough I would notice issues such as marks appearing on my character or being thrown into the air. However, I did not experience any game-breaking issues. The game did just release, so I would imagine that the fixes will be released pretty soon. The last issue of mine is that this game lacks a good soundtrack. All the previous Saints Row titles had an amazing soundtrack, yet the music in this game is pretty bland and does not have any songs that stand out. After playing the game for 3 hours, I feel pretty confident giving the rebooted Saints Row a 6.5 out of 10. The game tries to reignite the fanbase by going to a new group and location, but ultimately failing in the process. The campaign is interesting enough to follow and complete, but there is nothing special about it. The game offers fun activities and pure mayhem that can be enjoyed by yourself or with another player. After almost a decade since the last Saints Row, I would have imagined that the devs would have innovated the rebooted game to new heights, but it's just disappointing to see that they failed. That wraps it all up. Thanks for making it this far. I hope that this video gives you an idea of what to expect in the new Saints Row. If you have any thoughts or opinion, feel free to comment down below. I'll try and get back to them. I know that I was harsh on the verdict, yet I still gave it a generous 6.5. I did that primarily because this game is fun and I'll continue playing it, but the game lacks being unique. I will admit that I did have some bias towards the game, but I was hoping that the game could change my mind in the end, though it did not. Thanks again for watching, and as always, take care.